I want to talk to you guys today about Final Fantasy's pricing, because now that the set has been sort of not officially released, but stores could sell early, pre-releases, people have cards in hand, I've opened stuff, people have opened stuff, we see more movement on the market, but obviously pre-sales are always wild to watch, because in 99% of cases, pre-sale prices end up being lower than what regular sale prices end up being lower than what cards are pre-selling at because of hype and all of that. Doesn't always happen, though. We've seen with almost every set that there's some cards that are actually cheaper during pre-sales and then get bought out and spike a ton even before a set comes out. It happened with Raul Monsoon Mage with Modern Horizons 3. We've seen it happen with a lot of other cards. It doesn't happen often, but there are a few things we're seeing a lot of movement on here for the Final Fantasy set. So if you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to like and subscribe. Click the bell icon if you want to be notified when new videos are posted. Do appreciate everybody taking the time to watch these videos regardless. But I have been able to open some Final Fantasy. I have been able to rip a couple collector boosters and some play boosters and stuff. I did not get them at MSRP, unfortunately, but thankfully the bundles near me were only around $80, so about $10 over MSRP. It wasn't too bad. I posted the video opening that up. And there's something quickly I want to talk about out of these bundles, because it's really interesting and definitely something that I'm not sure everyone is aware of. So in these bundles, you get the promo pack with the lands. And if you guys saw my video, you'll see I pulled 2 promos. I thought you were guaranteed to get like Sephiroth and Lightning because of the back of the box, but it's not the case. What I didn't know until doing some research after is that in those bundles, the foils that you pull, the 2 of them, are actually exclusively foil in the bundle. And it's hard, you have to find it on Wizard's site with the way they laid it out. But so the 2 that I pulled, and it's basically any of the legendaries, whatever, they are the extended art version specifically is only available in bundles. So you'll see with the Sephiroth Fallen Hero, which is around $150 right now pre-sale for the foil, but the non-foil is like $11. And that's because this foil variant can only be pulled in the bundle with one of the 2 potential promos or whatever they are. They're not actually promos. They don't have a unique promo ID or anything like that. But yeah, so just an interesting fact. If you see that some extended art foils are way up in price, it's because they are super, super scarce. Doesn't mean I'm saying buy them. I'm saying there's just not a lot of them to go around. Just because someone's asking a price doesn't mean that's what it's going to go for, but it's just worth considering. Now, I have this Sephiroth out of a bundle right now, and at the time I'm recording this video anyway, I have it up on eBay around $85. So I'm trying to sell it. And I got it well below what they've got here, but we'll see if people submit offers. We'll see how it goes. What I can confirm, and I'm just trying to pull it up now because I forgot to have it up. What I can confirm is that this Tataru, which I pulled this in the bundle as a foil as well in the promo pack. I sold mine today for just under $50. The asking price on it is crazy. That's just got to be a placeholder. But I pulled the foil, I listed it on eBay, and it sold with an offer within 8 minutes of being listed. So there is definitely some demand for these. But I undercut the quote unquote lowest price by a pretty significant margin because I think it's ludicrous. But I also wanted to, try to capitalize on the hype. So you kind of meet in the middle. And obviously, if it was something that I wanted to hold on to with I can't think of a specific one off the top of my head, but I might not have moved it. Anyway, just wanted to go over that quickly because I thought it was a really interesting note. But yeah, the extended art specifically, not the borderless, not the different drawings, just the extended art of the FIN are only available in the bundle, and then the FIC code are available in the bundle pack or in the sample pack, collector booster sample pack. So they are going to be pricier than your regular cards would be. Vivi is on a large downward trend, thank goodness. It was $90 at one point, now it's about $47 at the cheapest, and this is just going to keep on dropping. I think it should probably settle well under, let's say well under 35 after a couple weeks of release, unless there's some kind of, reverse spike where people start to pick it up, and obviously how it performs is going to be very dependent, but it's a pretty strong card. I think it should probably perform okay. Vivi has a lot of different versions that are, on the market. The pre-release one is going to have a bit of a premium, I think, because of the fact that their pre-release kits are just not largely accessible right now, like by all accounts. I think this borderless one is really cool, but again, it's dropped a lot, which is great to see. It's like 92. This will probably fall somewhere around $75-ish at one point. Now, the foil is $270. Let's just call it $300 for the sake of the video. It's $300. I mean, the foil has to come down a little bit, but to be honest, I don't know how much. I don't think these are going to be popping up all that frequently. And at $245, I don't know. I don't see the foil going crazy low, but could we get it under $200? It's possible. Just not sure. And obviously with these unique drawings and everything, it's just one of those things that are in really high demand. Vivi's a tricky one, but I mean, with almost everything here, I'm going to say just wait till the set actually releases because the prices will drop. But one rare exception at this point, now I wouldn't recommend it, but Starting Town was very low, and yesterday there were pre-sale prices up around $8 to $9. Now it's gone up significantly to about $15.72 for one listing, and then it goes to $20. And again, one of the things to note on pre-sale prices is that there is a limited number of sellers who can actually list this stuff anyway, so it's always something to take with a grain of salt. But the reason I reference it is not the value, but the trends, right? So if the pre-sale price just starts really low and then a bunch sell and it starts to go up, it's still giving you an indication of what the demand for the thing might be. Whereas if this had hit the market at 9, people would buy up the cheap copies and then it would go up naturally. Now it'll probably hit the market at 12 or 13 instead. So that few extra dollars, I mean, it can be kind of annoying when these pre-sale spikes happen early. Sephiroth Fabled Soldier kind of continuing to trend downwards, which is nice. It's about $40. It's a really good card, but there's a lot of different versions of it, so it's hard to say, you know, like this one's going to be the crazy value. This should again come down, but it's also very strong. It's definitely going to see some play. So where it falls is going to be interesting, but obviously you have, like I said, a bunch of different versions of this Sephiroth as well. Pre-release one, we have the borderless one and others, so a good card I think you can wait on a little bit. Buster Sword, though, has been really interesting to me because it's there's 60 listings of this, which is much larger, by the way, than Starting Town, which only had 13 listings. So you can see, just based on numbers, like stuff that's starting to move, and this is a mythic, so it's doing quite well, though, at 35. It will be lower than that, I'm sure, especially because there is an alternate art, but I think this card's really, really strong. Especially for Voltron decks, especially because it's also thematically a very popular card. So when you factor all of those things into consideration, it's kind of a no-brainer. Why it's staying as high as it is, but it's going to drop again. It's just crazy to see that it's still kind of moving. Cloud, on the other hand, I witnessed a spike for on this first hand, which is really funny, and I want to just attribute it to scarcity and listing, so hopefully that's the case. But Cloud's around $25 right now at the cheapest, and this is really strong. This is like a not quite as good Stoneforge Mystic, but also maybe better in some cases because that second effect is really powerful. It kind of just depends on what your equipment's goals are actually, you know, in the purpose of the game. But anyway, I pulled up the Cloud yesterday. I had it. It was around like 18, 19 lowest. Now it's 25, and those listings disappear quickly. So I don't know how I ended up trading mine yesterday. So it's gonna be interesting to see. Like, again, this surge does not mean these cards are going to be wicked expensive on release, but what it does mean is that they're going to be higher than they would have been had there not been a lot of sales, because now there's more data to look at to say, well, this is selling. $35. However, I do think this card at $20 is a good price. It will, if you can get it at $20, I think it's a good price. It'll probably end up going a little lower than that, but over time, just because it's a 2-drop that searches an equipment and also has the additional stuff, and it's Cloud, the Final Fantasy tax, this card's going to do well. I think $20 is a good price. I don't think 40 is a good price. I think you'll see it lower, but we'll see if it has any kind of impact. It's Cloud, it's popular, and it's highly playable. So interesting there movement, though. I've just been watching these happen in real time. Tifa Lockhart also actually seeing a bit of a spike, up to like $9 to $10 after hitting as low as 5 the other day. So not bad. 15 listings. You know, again, these mini buyouts or whatever you want to call them are interesting. Tifa's popular, but I also think this card's going to be really strong in Standard because you can build landfall using this, Bristly Bill, and some other cards to really be able to like just swing for massive damage. Plus it's Tifa, she's popular. So not a ton of copies available, but this should by all accounts settle to like $5 once the set actually drops. I mean, obviously a premium version of it, like a search foil or something, is going to be more, but you should be able to get the base version of it at the very least. Yeah, 21, so like 100. You've already seen the search foil fall quite a bit too, from 180 to 100 just in pre-sales. But it's Tifa. This card will be fine long term, I think. Traveling Chocobo, insanely good card. It's around $25. I picked one up yesterday. It was at one point as low as like 21, which is only a few dollars, but again, it does seem to be popular. The thing about this is there is the borderless, and you have people chasing the neon ink and the serialized, so there's a large margin for these. But this base version of this card is very good, especially if we're going to be looking at landfall decks and Standard and fucking everywhere else. As it's just highly playable in general with doubling landfall triggers. $25 on this is probably where it'll end up in the long run, but I think there will be a period where it drops lower. I mean, this card, if you get this card anywhere lower than like 15 or 10, it's probably like a fantastic pickup at that point. This card here, interestingly enough, Jumbo Cactus guy here, it's like $8.50 after one point pre-selling at like $65. I think this card's cool, but it was so overhyped. This is a great example of pre-sales working in the opposite direction, not really working because people were paying crazy money for this, and now it's $7 because it was hyped, and hype just sometimes it's not just hype. It's like hype, but also you have to like be able to identify whether or not a hype is valid, and sometimes it is, like cards that spiked with Nadu and whatnot back in the day, but then other times the hype is just not there. Someone just sees a combo that they think looks cool, but it's not actually going to produce results, and then you got to be like, all right, this is cool, but I'll wait. Not going to pay $60 for it. Like, that's just, you know, crazy. And there was a lot of sales of this card in pre-sale even before it came out for more than it's worth now. Earth Crystal's trending up a little bit as well. You can see the graph. Not too many listings available at this point. 5. I think when I pulled mine, I valued it at like 3 and change. So, you know, nearly a double up. Are people starting to look at it, see how strong it can really be with doubling counters and stuff and reducing costs with green? I feel like these cards have potential over time, just especially in Commander, because they're like, you know, sort of generic color benefit cards, and then people love those, and they're artifacts on top of it. So I do think there is a lot of upside to these, but they do have, you know, higher rarity versions and whatnot. But hopefully all the crystals are affordable once they come out. I mean, this seems to be trending up, but we'll see. I mean, again, a couple weeks out, it's going to be the way to look at it. And I always say the best time to buy cards are usually either waiting a while or waiting until the set is officially listed, no more pre-release, and then the day of release, you'll see these people trying to undercut each other to get competitive on prices before a buyout happens. Sometimes you can snipe a really good deal there on day one when the thing is listed and everyone can list and sell and all these competitions are going on. You may think like, oh, maybe it'll drop more in a couple weeks, and maybe it will, but some cards won't. Some cards may get scooped up when people see they hit a certain low. So being able to identify that stuff is really important, or at least to find sources that do give you that valid information so you can identify it, because there are times where cards bottom out and you can look at it and say, man, this card's going to go up because it's just that good, or it's going to work here. And there are times where you just have no freaking idea. But, I mean, cards like Corey Steelcutter from Dragonstorm was a great example of a card that was like lower than it should be, and then it started to spike and then kept going up, and then it, you know, hit a plateau. At one point, you know, it's come back down, but either way, I think the pre-sale prices are really interesting. We'll continue to watch the set, watch the actual market and stuff, because there's going to be so much to discuss and break down from all of this and the implications on it. I know my locals had a decent bit of the Final Fantasy product, and they sold out of almost all of it. So, yeah. But thank you guys for taking time to watch the video. A little bit unfiltered today, just kind of ramble thoughts, but I wanted to put this out there and see what everybody was thinking. But I will catch you guys in the next video.